Listen, I want to talk about strategies for dealing with having social interaction, friends, and business long distance. I realized, this is something that I've done my whole life is having friends around the country, not working with everybody in direct proximity all the time. And not everybody's used to this. I was even homeschooled growing up. My wife, her best friend lives in New York City, so they have interactions. And I've had friends from around the world my whole life. And so I wanted to share with you some strategies for having real, deep, intimate, actual social connections without being in person with people. It's unfortunate that in our society, not everybody knows this, and I get it. We're addicted to dopamine. We're addicted to screens. We're addicted to social media like it's the real thing. But there's also ways to use it to benefit. When we have relationship over social media with people, when we talk over the phone or over FaceTime, there's still a connection there. If you refuse to acknowledge that, you're going to suffer when you have to use certain things. But if you can embrace the fact that there's no difference between the real world and the digital world, that our interactions personally with individuals, digital and in person, are the same, that there's also a spiritual connection that goes on with people digitally and in person. We can come together and have real, intimate social interactions digitally. How do you do this? What's the way to do this? You could watch a movie with a friend, turn it on Netflix, open up your FaceTime, and y'all could have a FaceTime like friend date. I've done that dating people long distance. My wife gave me some ideas. You could play a game, a board game even, with cameras digitally. You could set up, if you have a school that you're running digitally, you could have everybody, all your students log in through Zoom. It costs $15 to set up a Zoom account for enough people to do that. If you have a live event, I've had to do this. We've had to cancel live events because of health issues. And so we duplicated the live event over the course of 4 weeks online. And we only got 20% of refunds from that. Seriously. And so instead of looking at, oh, well, I get it. It sucks. All this stuff's going on. People are losing their jobs even. People are not getting as many clients. Maybe you're interacting in person. Maybe you are a makeup artist or somebody where your business is based on being with people in person. You could find and work with your clients that you work with in person still over video. Maybe you're a server. Maybe you're somebody that's at a restaurant. There's still ways that we can have interactions with other people. And I bless you for those people that are out of work right now. I get it. It's hard. I'm not going to try to guilt or shame anybody for that, by the way. You might see some people online trying to take advantage of what's going on right now to guilt and shame people into buying their products. I refuse to do that. I would encourage you to check out my podcast where I talk about mindset, breaking through fear, finding unique and creative ways to do things that we haven't thought of. And that's what we need to do, is think of what are the unique and creative ways that nobody's tried before, that maybe is scary to you, that maybe you've never done in your entire life, that is out of your norm, and that maybe you even judged as, oh, that's for those people over there. What are those things? And what can you do creatively right now in your life to have social interaction, business interaction with people that maybe you're not face to face with? You could have, you could clean out your closet or your rooms or whatever with friends over FaceTime. There's so many different ways to do this. Sometimes we're afraid of how we look on camera. So many people are afraid of just how they look on camera, and so they won't even have social interactions with friends because they're afraid of being judged on camera. Listen, everybody looks silly on camera. Everybody doesn't look perfect on camera. Nobody has, seriously, stop worrying about how other people are going to judge you for doing something different. And in this moment, start to think creatively. What can we do to have social interaction? What can we do? Maybe we could order out. A lot of places are still doing takeout food, and your friends aren't going to go out to dinner, but y'all could maybe order out from the same place and then FaceTime when you're at your location. Still set up times to have interaction with people. I get it. You're not always going to get what you want. We don't need to be children that are throwing a temper tantrum just because life isn't exactly how we want it. Instead, let's have hope. Let's have joy for the best and make the best of every situation. Take ownership over your choices, your decisions, and your emotions in these situations. Yeah, it's not going how you want it to. It's not going how anybody wants it to. So you're not a special snowflake in this one. Seriously, nobody is. So let's pull up our bootstraps. And I'm not saying that people with mental health just need to try harder, by the way. I don't mean that at all. I get it. There's mental health issues that people are dealing with as well. There's stuff that people have been going through that they have real conditions. But if you're somebody that's just complaining because your life and you're like, well, this is just hysteria and people just need to stop panicking and let me go on with my life. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about other people. It's about the elderly. It's about people that have, lowered immune systems. Let's respect our other human beings in the world today. Let's find ways to interact with friends. Let's find ways to do business. Let's think outside of the box of what we normally do, what we normally feel comfortable with or should do or the right thing to do. Man, people are like, oh, I can't go to the gym. Oh, this is just going to make a bunch of fat, lazy people. They're judging people for not working out when most people aren't even working out the rest of the year. And people can work out through online programs. Seriously, it's time to stop letting our issues get in the way of creative ideas to work through a situation and be in this together and work together to live our lives, to continue to have joy, to have peace in our lives. You might say, well, how can you have joy when all this is going on? That's the point of it. Your joy and your happiness isn't predicated on outside influences or circumstances. You're not going to know how it's all going to work out. We're all coming face to face with fear of the unknown and coming face to face with the fact that we don't know what tomorrow holds, and yet we can make the very best of it and still be happy. And that's okay, and that's good to do. And you don't need everything to be perfect for your happiness to exist. That you can be joyful in this moment and make the best of everything and come up with creative ideas to have interactions, to build your business, to meet people where they're at, and to have others meet you where you're at, and to continue your life, to not get knocked off track because of what's happening around you, and keep moving forward towards your goals, loving, living, and having hope for the future. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.